All right, good morning. There's a lot of you on here today, so going to have to, I know we have our little hellos we always love to do at the beginning of the blog, right? We'll have to hold on to some of those a little bit later on in the show. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm wave meteorologist Brian Good. Happy Friday the 13th. A little odd, I know, mentioning that in December. It doesn't line up too often, but hey, just if you are superstitious, watch out for ladders in the workplace, especially. Be careful. Hope you guys have had a good week so far. It is finally Friday. We're heading into the weekend. If the weekend, or at least the traffic set up yesterday, is any indicator of how the weekend is going to play out, then yikes. The malls are going to be quite busy, and there's going to be a lot of delays out there. So plan accordingly. I'll be out in some of that even later today myself. So I'm looking so forward to it. Just have to remember, just once a year, it'll pass. It'll pass. All right. So make sure you're nice and kind to everyone as you venture out. All right. We're going to talk about the rainy setup for the weekend, which may limit some of how many of you of us get out shopping. Maybe a lot of online shopping this weekend. And then next week, yes, still looks wet, but the second piece of that, which will lead us toward Christmas, still has several winter elements that are certainly at play. All right, let's get right into the snowboard. And on the snowboard, still focus on that general same elements there. As we get into next week, after a few days of rainy weather, that's when we have a system that'll roll in and has a chance to go over to some snow and end as snow. This one right now does not look to be significant. It would likely be Thursday morning if there's any impacts from it. We'll be watching it. There's another one that runs into a nearly similar track, a southern tracker, if you will, that could give us some light snow out of that one on the backside. And then there's yet another one that is showing up that may have a little more wintry types involved than just snow, which would be near Christmas. That one is still a bit in question. I'll explain why they're all bunched together and why the reality may end up being only one or two of these systems instead of three. So there's a lot of questions to get worked out. Today, very odd looking sky, isn't it? Let me bring this full screen. This is looking from the SkyTrack camera. Hello, you don't want to see me. Sorry about that. This is looking from the SkyTrack camera over New Albany. Beautiful look to the mix of the contrails, the high overcast, and the glow there of our orb in the sky this morning. It looks like winter, doesn't it? Technically still fall until this weekend. This weekend, or next weekend, excuse me, we will officially be able to say it is winter. All right, so what's on the game plan so far today? Well, it's quiet. Another cold morning. Temperatures have been running generally into the 20s and 30s. We saw that yesterday morning, very similar. Today, we'll have another cold morning tomorrow, a few degrees up from where we are here, but it will be a chilly start this Saturday. And then we'll get into a mild stretch of weather that may even keep us at 50 degrees or warmer all the way through the end of next week. So long, warm stretch of day and night mild weather. So I'm hoping your furnaces will get a little bit of a break, or if your furnace has gone out or needs repaired, you got some time to get that done before we get back into a colder setup once again. Radar is quiet here, though. It's just the high, thin clouds. It's going to stay dry today. Not worried about any type of rain or snow for that matter. In fact, our system just now coming in off the Rockies will be the one that will kick up the front and the rain that arrives late for tomorrow. So let's dive right into it. All right, we'll begin with the first in the series of about, it's really two rain makers, but they are connected by a bridge, if you will, a friend. So it's really a trio that will get us through this. So that's why I think it's easier to just group them as one big event over multiple days, because for us to break down the rain chance each and every day on timing and amounts, that makes me exhausted. And I'm sure it exhausts you trying to take all that in mentally, right? So we're just going to do this one big storyline to get us to Tuesday, and then I'll separate the other issue after that. So this first one, as I mentioned, Saturday morning, we'll start off chilly. I don't see much happening throughout the day other than the sky condition changing, going from similar to how it is now. I think we may have a little more blue out there in the morning hours on Saturday, but we'll end up with a sky like it is now, with its high overcast, but still an orange globe coming, glow from the sun itself, but not quite overcast, but getting there. And we should be fully overcast by the afternoon. So if you have any daytime erranding to run, you're in good shape. You get to 5, 6 o'clock, you're making your dinner plans. You need to start paying attention to what the radar looks like on the Wave Weather app, because you should see a wall of rain back to the west around Evansville heading eastbound. And it will overtake the area throughout the evening and overnight hours. And it quickly, the heaviest anyway, pushes rapidly all the way into areas of Ohio and the higher elevations, the Appalachians, where, yeah, I do think they will end up with snow out of this just because of elevation in that area, because it races so quickly to the east. But it's all rain for us. But we end up on the backside of the system, and normally we would say that's it, right? You got the cold front, boom, it hits, you're done, you're over with. But not in this case. The cold front itself is actually still way back here. This is just rain that pushed out way in advance of it. So that's why the overnight lows will also stay warm and not drop at night. So while we're in this waiting period, the bridge moment starts to happen where we're waiting for the second piece. So what happens is light rain will start to develop in that flow in a very light fashion. But just as it looks like the radar is developing a big dry patch of the area, it will likely fill right back in again with light rain and steady drizzle, making a very much a rainy day on Sunday. It may not be heavy rain by any stretch, just rainy. The wipers at times while you're driving will be needed, and other times they may not be. But it's just one of those kind of good nap type of days for Sunday being the bridge day to two systems. All right, then system number 2 begins to show up. That will be Monday morning. The first round will arrive. I do think we'll get a small break around lunch to about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. There's a bit of a warm sector, warm front portion of this. So I do think that would include Louisville. So I think Louisville will have a rainy morning Monday, but we may get about a 3 to 4 hour break around lunch to about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And then we'll have a wall of heavy rain, maybe some thunder that will then roll in Monday night into Tuesday, and then we're done. Whew, that was a lot to cover. And that's only just the first part of, really, it's a weekend into early next week. Rainfall amounts on all of that combined is still coming in about 1 to 2 inches. Now, it's going to be spread out over a long period of time, so we're not concerned about flash flooding or river flooding or anything like that. And we're not in a drought any longer, but we've been dry, considering most of our precip incidents have been snow, light snow, and not big rain events. So this one is the first one in a while, but the ground can handle it. Okay, what's next? Well, now we get into the setup for the end of the week. And as I mentioned, we've got the rain set up here for Saturday and Sunday. And here comes the Monday wave passing on by, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we know that's going to happen. But we get to about Wednesday and Thursday. It's remarkable how many systems are being thrown at us. Altogether, there's about 5 or 6 low pressures that come into play on a near daily basis next week. Imagine if we were colder. Whew, we would be absolutely buried in snow, right? So, but it does get colder as we go along because these systems are developing enough action here across our latitude that with colder air available, it's only a matter of time that they two shake hands and meet up. And that looks like it's trying to happen at the end here. So as the Wednesday wave develops, I do think for now this one's going to be rain, the majority of it. Notice the rain snow line aloft. Always put that blue line on there so you guys kind of have an idea where if it's moving into the storm or moving away from us. In this case, it's moving toward our area as we head into late Wednesday and into Thursday. So the rain develops Wednesday morning to the south. We get into Wednesday afternoon. It should be a light rain, but look where the rain snow line is. Ooh, right there along the Ohio River. And that's where we could get a quick little thumping of snow out of that for Thursday morning. It's going to be to see it that far in advance. We're talking about a week out. There was such a margin of error on trying to pick out a zone near the Ohio River. Hey, it's just at this point, it's entertainment purposes. I'm trying to at least tell you guys what the possibilities are. But yes, I'm fully aware it will change. And maybe for the better, maybe for that. The snow haters may win on that one, but it's something. After it passes by, it actually gets a little bit more of a kick and heads northeast. And this is going to be a big snowmaker the way it's looking now for a lot of the big cities, nearly guaranteeing a white Christmas for this area of the country. We will get backlash snow on Friday. There's a lot of light snow and flurries, but it can accumulate because we are going to be cold. Could even score a couple of sub-freezing days next weekend with this kind of setup. So the groundwork has been laid. Here we are. It's the 23rd of December. We've got Arctic air that's in place. We've had a potential couple of at least light snow events to get some snow on the ground. So now that any system that tries to make a run at us is going to have to battle that idea the cold air was here first. So either it'll be a mixed system or it'll be all snow, or we won't get anything because there's no system coming at us. Well, we're in luck this year. There is another signal that is showing up that some type of southern wave is going to make a run at us while this cold air is sitting here. But when will that be? Will that be on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, or the day after? And that part I can't fine-tune yet. It's too far out. But I can tell you that the groundwork is at least laid to get some active weather, and the potential there for any one of these systems to grow into a bigger wintry event can certainly take place. I know the Carolinas are excited because there have been some hints with the amount. Look how far down this cold air goes. There are hints that even the Carolinas could get snow out of this near Christmas Day. And while it's a laughable meme right now on social media, I do think there's some truth to that. It's possible. I have witnessed it before in person there on Thanksgiving Day. It was the earliest snow they've ever had. So I was there for that. So I know it can't happen. So I think they're could be a little more excited than we will be. But anyway, it's a good setup, guys. Good setup. The models don't look perfect yet. I know for snow lovers, like that doesn't look like anything big, but you can't pay attention to models like this on paper. I want you guys to look at it almost like one of those art blobs, right? From psychology. Just kind of look at it and understand what the weather pattern is trying to tell you. And what it's trying to tell us as meteorologists is that the potential to get a winter storm to develop out of this is growing. But how it evolves, who is going to be impacted, and when, all that has to be sorted out. But if you want anything at all exciting to be near the Christmas holiday, this is it, guys. Because last year we were talking about record warmth that was coming into play. So I think we're due for some excitement. Doesn't mean we're going to get snow, so I don't want to get everyone too excited, but I personally think it's our best shot we've had in a while. Okay, here are the lovely matrix ensembles. Adam loves these. I know they're hard to read. What we're looking for here is just trying to get a definitive period that is trying to fill in with gaps. And there may be one there on the 21st, so that would be roughly around Friday and Saturday next week. And then here's the one that is showing up on Christmas Day. There's a signal there for Christmas Day. Some are darker blues and purples, yeah. But again, there's a lot of gaps in these. We need this to fill in more, and it could. But right now, it's not quite ideal. Let's hope that changes into the coming days ahead. Now, looking at the potential to get a polar vortex to come back down, well, this is the Hudson Bay low, which is very, very cold. All right, that's great. But if you look in the last couple of frames, see here we get a look over here to the United States, and Kentucky's over here at the bottom. Watch what happens when that little cold wave, it dips down right there. That is next weekend. But then it wants to bottle right back up again and stay in that area into the Hudson Bay. That's important because if the cold air gets locked up in this area, we get into a zonal flow, and that will warm us up rapidly after Christmas. So we really want to see if this thing can do another stretched event or just go ahead and just drop all the way down into the eastern United States, which would be wild. But this is going to be a big player because this is not a cross-polar flow here. This is just cold air at the moment that is sitting there into eastern Canada, and whether or not it wants to try to stretch its legs back down into the United States. It's done it 4 times, and we'll see if it'll do it again at the end of the month. I am working on trying to get a winter forecast update out for next week. I don't know the date yet, but next week I'm going to try to get one out so that we can talk about January and beyond before the holidays hit. Okay. Everyone good? There was a lot of rambling today, but I wanted to at least explain all the pieces. There are oh, I didn't see the spammer. Sorry about that. Let's see. Snow day. Chances for a white Christmas, Michael. Right now, I think it's like 11%. It was something really low. Ryan Hoke's been working that graphic. We talked yesterday and we decided to move it to 15%, which still seems low. Don't get me wrong, but last year we moved it to 1% and then 0. So, and that was about a week in advance. So we're at least going up and not down, but it is still low. It's not often. The last official white Christmas was 2020, I believe it was. And then 2021, we were 75 degrees. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. You guys seem like you're ready to go. No one likes the ups and downs in the weather. It gets stressful. I get it. But hey, at least we had an active storm try, guys. We know the cold air is available. You've already seen that come down to visit us a few times. Those are all things that should tell you, if you've lived here for a while, should tell you already that this is an unusual December and that winter is actually trying to get back onto what seems like a normal winter for us. So there will be some fun and gains and excitement to track. It could be worse. We could be dominated by a ridge right now, and it's nothing but warm and unseasonably dry, no rain, no snow anywhere, and we're really going to be upset. Well, this year is not that case, so there's a lot to be positive about. All right, guys, I'll leave it at that. Have a good one. Behave yourselves. I will see you all coming up on midday at 11 a.m. Take care.